Okay, this morning Kabbalah. Dr. Zach is here in the house. Did you get hypnotized by your girlfriend last night?
Was that? Yeah, hypnotized. Hypnotized minds. I gotta go to the gym. It looks like you've been doing better at the gym than me. Whatever you're doing at the gym is working. Whatever I'm doing at the gym, I need to do more, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's lifting weights, cardio, and stretching.
When you lift weights, how long is your average weightlifting session?
I do
And
usually.
how many times a week are you hitting the weights?
Going like 5 days a week, probably.
Damn, okay, that's a lot. 5 days a week doing weights? A different muscle set every day?
No, generally I do like a full body weightlifting set. Legs, upper body, core, etc. Like I move around.
Every day?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, damn. And you don't have a plan? You just kind of go with what you feel?
Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of people at the gym, so you can't use every piece of equipment. So I just like float around.
You just find one that's open. You're like, all right, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Nice. I think, I mean, I gotta go more. You gotta go every day. You gotta go every day. I do the jujitsu every day, but the problem is jujitsu, once you're relatively good at jujitsu, it's not really a hard workout anymore.
Yeah.
And so I have to do other things to go hard.
Yeah, there's nothing like the gym because lifting weights is unless you have it at home, the gym is the only place you can get access to that technology. You go to the gym and you see there's gym rats. There are some people that they cannot live without that fucking gym. They're totally addicted to it because it's like the healthiest addiction. Everything else is destructive to the body or it's also psychological because you get all these chemicals from the experience and people just love it. I mean, I see 80-year-old men lifting weights still. Some of them are in pretty good shape. I'm all out of cannabis though. I might have a little bit left in my bowl that's just like smoking ashes, but this is the hard thing about wanting to read Kabbalah sober. It's not as much fun. But we are about to read Kabbalah. So I put out 45 videos yesterday, 45 videos the day before. Nobody's watching these. That's the downside, but it is essentially for myself. I've been listening to it, and there's a lot of information here, so that's why I say just reading it is not good enough. If you read it and record it, then you can always re-listen to it, and then you don't have to pick up the book and do this work again. You might. I feel like this is something you do every year. Let's just read. But here we go. We're about to enter into the world of Jewish mysticism, aka Kabbalah. If you've got cannabis, now is the time to blaze. Prepare for liftoff, Dr. Zach. We are going to the sacred land of the Shekhinah. Good morning. Would you like to go on my sailboat and suck my dick and smoke a joint and have a beer. That sounds like a great idea. Let's go. I'm so ready for summer. I'm so ready for this. Conor McGregor. Maybe I need to start using different photos. That's probably what I should do. Nobody likes these tarot Kabbalah photos. They'd rather see like Conor McGregor at the White House. Okay, so Zach, I'm going to read 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm going to read for 13, 14, 15 minutes here straight. So if you are going to Irish goodbye, just Irish goodbye, but I'm not going to stop because I got all these phones queued up. And once I stop, then it fucks it all up. We're also live on X, hashtag Kabbalah, meditation, hypnosis. Hashem Adonai, Rabboni Shalom, Yashikoa. Let us begin. Okay, we're going to read Death. This is what happens when you smoke too many cigarettes. But I will give you life. We will get life through death. Here we go. The Meditation on None, number 13, Death. I am the fish which swimmeth in the sea of the great waters, bearing all things in my belly, even as it is written, he had his dwelling in the great sea, and was a fish therein. This is the great fish wherein the prophet abode 3 days and 3 nights. And because of Jonah's suffering, is the great fish an emblem of all pains and sorrows. For as the prophet's anguish brought him to follow my way, so are all pains and sorrows the portals through which man passeth to the heart of the great mother. Verily the mother is the sea, wherein swimmeth the fish, and the fish and the sea are one. That one is the all, and entereth into all, everything that is, even those things which men account unclean, is an aspect of this all, which is myself. And as the fish is hidden in the waters of the sea, so is the secret of the one, shut up within the semblance of the many. Therefore is the fish a sign of the secret wisdom, for that wisdom is naught but the discovery of the one. To thee, O Israel, is the opening and shutting of the gates to thee, after many questionings of what and which shall appear as in a flash of lightning the unfolding of the secret, that dazzling whiteness, too brilliant to be borne by mortal eyes, lighteth the path of every blessed one who attaineth to immortality. Yea, immortality is known to the wise, who understand the secret of my perpetual being, the secret whereof the fish concealeth and revealeth the mystery, for the fish is the perpetual one, which is the Father of salvation. Therefore it is written, Joshua was the son of Nun. What then is this that continueth without ceasing? Verily it is I myself, and that which changeth not is the motion which carrieth all things from place to place. Change perpetual is at the root of all things, and change hath two faces, a face of life and a face of death. For know ye, O Israel, that what men call life and death are as beads of white and black strung upon a thread, and this thread of perpetual change is mine own changeless life, which bindeth together the unending series of little lives and deaths. Comment on Nun. Nun, pronounced noon, transcribed as N, the number 50, meaning fish, the imaginative intelligence. The quotation, he had his dwelling in the great sea and was a fish therein, is from the Zohar, or the Book of Splendor. The great sea, of course, is Bina. The prophet is Jonah, IVNH, signifying a dove. Note well that the dove is the bird of Venus, and that the great fish mentioned in Jonah 1:17 is Dag Gadol, DGGDVL, for which the numeral value is 50, the same as that of the letter Nun. Furthermore, the zodiacal sign Scorpio, relating to reproduction and ruled by Mars, is attributed to Nun. When the great fish swallows the dove, the forces of Venus and Mars are conjoined. Note also that Nineveh, the capital of Assyria, where Jonah was sent, is spelt NINVH, so that it combines the letters in NVN, Nun, and IH, Ja. Pains and sorrows in Hebrew is Kobli. Pains and sorrows in Hebrew is Kobli, CHBLI, and this word adds up to 50, the value of noon. So also the noun translated sea is Yom, I am, and this is 52. The fish and the sea are one because of this gematria, and the sea is Bina, or Ima, the mother. Kabbalistically, also the fish and the sun are one, because the fish is one with the sea, which is the mother, and because the mother Ima is by numeration the same as Ben, Bien, the sun. Kol, KL, all, every, adds up to 50, the number of the letter N. This is referred to in the passage beginning that one is the all. Shut up within the semblance of the many is based upon the verb autam, ATM, to close, to contract, to shut up. The numeration is again 50. To thee is lecha, pains and sorrow. To thee is lecha LK what and which? Me, am I, both LK and M, I have the value 50. White brilliance is a technical term for Ketha, the crown. The reference to it here is derived from Saukak, TZCHCH, to glare, to be bright, to be dazzling white. This word adds up to 106, the value of the letter name, NVN. The book of Exodus says that Joshua was the son of Nun. His father's name signifies perpetuity. Joshua means the nature of reality is to liberate. The name Jesus is a variant of Joshua. Concerning the doctrine in the succeeding portion of the section, the following comment was given at the time the outline of the text was first received. The attribution of motion to Nun becomes more intelligible. The attribution of motion to Nun becomes more intelligible when it is remembered that the older philosophers used the term motion to designate what is now more commonly called change. Thus, Aristotle enumerates 4 kinds of motion: first, change of position; second, generation and dissolution; third, alteration; and fourth, increase and decrease. Nun refers most particularly to the phenomena of generation, as you will see by our remarks on the significance of Scorpio. Outwardly, generation presents the appearance of dissolution, a fact noted by many philosophers, and pithily expressed by St. Paul's remark, "That which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die." The remarks on Scorpio were in part as follows. The imaginative intelligence attributed to the letter Nun is a specialization of the image-making faculty inherent in the universal consciousness, as manifested attribution of motion to Nun. The remarks on Scorpio were in part as follows. The imaginative intelligence attributed to the letter Nun is a specialization of the image-making faculty inherent in the universal consciousness, as manifested in human mentation. It is the force by means of which man transforms his environment, and hence it is essentially destructive in its effects upon existing conditions, for it destroys the old to build the new. In this connection, observe that Scorpio is the house of Mars by night, in contrast to Aries, which Mars rules by day. In the tarot, Nun corresponds to death, while He, the letter corresponding to Aries, is attributed to the Emperor. Death is the ruler of form in the world of formation, as the Emperor is the ruler of the creative world. That is to say, all forms must change, and what changes them is imagination. The universal imagination performs the greater transformations. The remarks on screen. In fact, the imagination of man is the universal imagination at work in the particular localized center. The same power works through all animate and inanimate creation. If we may say that there is any such thing as inanimate matter, its essential nature is shown by the root meaning of the verb nun, and to sprout, to propagate by sprouting. The same idea is to be found in the familiar parable of the leaven. Leaven is yeast, a one-celled plant that propagates by budding or emanation. The universal imagination affects all its transformations by a like process, for every new form is, as it were, sprouted from something pre-existing. The imaginative intelligence is, of course, especially active in the reproductive centers of the body, and hence Nun, through its correspondence to Scorpio, is attributed to those centers. Here, be careful to observe that the reproductive organism... Here, be careful to observe that the reproductive organism includes certain ganglia of the sympathetic nervous system. These are the Hindu chakras at the base of the spine, at the navel, or rather just a little below it, and at the solar plexus. It is by imagination that the serpent force in these centers is raised so that the poisonous scorpion becomes the eagle of aspiration. Psychologists know that in primitive minds, the chief outlet of imagination is erotic, and this erotic tendency is never eliminated. Even in the highest aspirations, all that is changed is the mode of expression, although the higher forms bear little outward resemblance to the crudities of gross imagination, so that we do not always find it easy to recognize the fundamental identity. You must wholly alter your conception of sex in order to comprehend the ancient wisdom. The story of the fall should be sufficient to afford a clue. Not until after the fall would Adam and Eve be careful to... You must wholly alter your conception of sex in order to comprehend the ancient wisdom. The story of the fall should be sufficient to afford a clue. Not until after the fall were Adam and Eve ashamed, and all our false sex modesty is the fruit of our remembrance of sex evils. We cannot too strongly insist that sex is sacred, and that it must be so regarded, for all the great symbols of the ancient wisdom have a decidedly phallic aspect. The error into which seekers for truth so often fall as soon as they realize this fact is in supposing that the way of regeneration is somehow related to the reproductive function of the sex organism. Nothing could be farther from the truth. It is the interior nervous organism, not the external organs, that is always meant in phallic symbolism. And the force that works through these interior centers is the great magical agent, the divine serpent. Damn, I don't think that I don't think that worked. Yeah, still not working. That's too bad. So we'll go with please don't scroll. I'm just a content creator trying to get followers, but no one likes me. Please subscribe now. Okay, I'm gonna have to reread that. Here we go. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is the interior nervous organism, not the external organs, that is always meant in phallic symbolism. And the force that works through these interior centers is the great magical agent, the divine serpent fire. We have the almost superhuman task of creating a new set of associations with the word sex, because after all, certain aspects of the truth must be worked out to practical application through exercises which will lead only to most terrible results unless the minds of those who undertake them are first completely purged. False modesty must be replaced by a high and reverential attitude of respect for the centers where the fire of life is most active in the human body. The Hebrew for thread is Kav, QV, which adds to 106 the value of the letter name, and VN. Comment on noon, transcribed as N, the number 50, fish. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is the interior nervous organ. Okay, now we move on to temperance, meditations on Samak. Number 14, temperance, the meditation on Samak. I am the support of all that enter into existence. Upon me all depend, and I fail not. This have I declared unto thee in various ways, but listen now to my words again. I sustain creation in the midst of a perpetual ebb and flow. Therefore do I assume the appearance of a refiner's fire, forever purging out the dross of forms outworn. This is mine aspect of severity, and of this it is written, Tetragrammaton, Elohim is a devouring fire. Thus am I as one who testeth gold in a furnace, and this aspect of my being presenteth to the unrighteous a face of wrath. Yet by the purgation of fire do I uphold and sustain thee in every moment of thy life. Behold, I am he. Temperance, Behold, I am he who trieth thee with many subtle tests. Wise art thou if thou knowest that the subtle serpent of temptation is in truth the anointed one who bringeth thee to liberation. I am he who established the time of the decree, who declareth the term of the days of Adam. The fullness of these days shall see the strengthening of thy weakness, O Israel. And in the renewal of thy powers shall be made manifest the plenitude of my great name in the abode of wisdom. For when thou hast been tried as by fire, the gold of thy beauty shall be purged of all dross, and the glory of heavenly sun shall all men behold. Then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of that blessed vision shalt thou be restored. Okay, this is the last one. Maybe it's the last one. Here we go. Oh, wait, I already did that one. That one is complete. Okay, this is the last one. Here we go. Then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of that blessed vision shalt thou be restored, as a young lion trampleth upon his prey. So shalt thou conquer all the phantoms of delusion. Lo, in that day shall the light that is bind fast every hideous shape of darkness, and all thy habitations shall be blessed by the white brilliance which descendeth from the crown. Comment on Samek. Samek pronounced Somek. Transcribed as S, the number 60, meaning prop, support. The intelligence of probation or trial. In Hebrew, tried by fire is Baukan, BCHN, which adds to 60 the value of the letter Samek. Furthermore, the sign Sagittarius, attributed to Samek, belongs to the fiery triplicity. Then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of that blessed vision shalt thou be restored, as a young lion trampleth upon his prey. So shalt thou conquer all the phantoms of delusion. Lo, in that day shall the light that is bind fast every hideous shape of darkness, and all thy habitations shall be blessed by the white brilliance which descendeth from the crown. Comment on Samek. Samek pronounced Somek. Transcribed as S, the number 60, meaning prop, support. Intelligence of probation or trial. In Hebrew, tried by fire is Malkan, BCHN, which adds to 60 the value of the letter Samek. Furthermore, the signs, then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of the blessed vision shalt thou be restored, as a young lion trampleth upon his prey. So shalt thou conquer all the phantoms of delusion. Lo, in that day shall the light that is bind fast every hideous shape of darkness, and all thy habitations shall be blessed by the white brilliance which descendeth from the crown. Comment on Samek. Samek pronounced Somek. Transcribed as S, the number 60, meaning prop, support. Intelligence and probation or trial. In Hebrew, tried by fire is BCHN, which adds to 60 the value of the letter Samek. Furthermore, the signs, then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of that blessed vision shalt thou be restored, as a young lion trampleth upon his prey. So shalt thou conquer all the phantoms of delusion. Lo, in that day shall the light that is bind fast every hideous shape of darkness, and all thy habitations shall be blessed by the white brilliance which descendeth from the crown. Comment on Samek. Samek pronounced Somek. Transcribed as S, the number 60, meaning prop, support. Intelligence of probation or trial. In Hebrew, tried by fire is Malkan, BCHN, which adds to 60 the value of the letter Samek. Furthermore, the signs, then shall the vision of thy Lord be granted unto thee, and seeing him shalt thou behold the shining one who is thine own true self. In the fullness of that blessed vision shalt thou be restored, as a young lion trampleth upon his prey. So shalt thou conquer all the phantoms of delusion. Lo, in that day shall the light that is bind fast every hideous shape of darkness,